This is a very important conversation because it is at the heart of how we live our lives, what we eat, and how we grow what we eat, because that has had a significant role in destroying the ecosystems all around us.
There is so much opportunity with all the technologies being developed at land and on sea for new investments and new ways to make profit.
We will increase our investment in climate resilient agriculture. We have been proposed a number of highly innovative initiatives to basically foster net zero climate resilient agriculture at scale.
We want to partner with organizations that can bring technology so that even as a woman sits in a rural home, she can be able to sell her products and be able to get an income for her family.
Nous avons des projets d'assainissement qu'il faut porter dans l'agriculture, mais nous avons besoin d'accompagnement des partenaires ici dans le cadre des financements de ces projets.
The CARICOM Secretariat is pleased to be involved in the early stages of formulating this proposed Sustainable Caribbean Finance Facility, SCFF, with the Global Alliance for a Sustainable Planet. We welcome the vision of having $2 billion projects on the ground by 2022 and $10 billion by 2035. This would be game-changing and progressive for the CARICOM region.
The government of Jamaica welcomes this cutting-edge project, the Jamaica Sustainable Agri-Park Project, which will utilize climate-smart technologies to improve the resilience of our food supply chains and involve our small farmers in a mutually sustainable business relationship that will improve their access to technology.
One of these facilities will be able to feed and provide over 100% of the Bahamas' green food needs.
As well as digitizing the impacts, carbon impacts, SDG impacts, as well as validating the prices paid back to farmers.
The idea of being climate neutral is actually fulfilling also our targets as a company. We are seen as energy of climate resilient infrastructure such as land reclamation, coastal protection, and offshore wind farms.
We are a next generation biotechnology company making sustainable proteins and animal analogs.
We are now producing the first, until now, the only climate neutral eggs in the world.
We are one of the leading manufacturers of glass greenhouse technology.
Our role in this engagement is to humanize technology, produce food from microalgae and biofuel.
By the 2030, we have a vision strategic plan footprint, Vision 2030 that targets to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 32% in 2030. And this will come a long way in really stepping up efforts with regards to food security.
That in some Indian Ocean coastal areas, these nurdles are getting washed away, and then it can end up in the food chain, being swallowed by the fish and then breaking up to microplastics.
We are investing really hard on low carbon agriculture and carbon neutral agriculture.
When we sit in our respective country chairs and go back into negotiation silos is exactly what we need to break down with the kind of examples, real world examples, action oriented examples that you're putting forward. So
therefore, I think coming up with low carbon solutions, low methane solutions, where people in emerging markets can eat and drink as well as the rest of the world does, I see there's no reason why that shouldn't happen. And that's why we'd love to partner with some of the great ideas that we've seen today and commercialize them. Thank you.
So the food system is going to be the next thing after fossil fuels to get a lot of scrutiny. After renewable energy, I think comes renewable food. And what we've seen today is a fantastic example of the future, a renewable food system, a circular economy, using the same principles of nature. I often say to people, if you want answers, look at what nature has done already. It's had 1 billion years to work most things out. Most of the lessons you saw in AgriHaven are those that nature uses itself. But the other crucial thing, I think, is that it's also this 10%, 90%. It's not just a factory on the ground, it's also got the forest restoration around it. So if we can be cleverer about the way we use land to produce a lot of food in a small place, then maybe we can rewild the rest.
2.5 trillion US of green bonds have been issued so far, and it's going to go up 80% this year. Now we need to take it to the smallholders, to the food, to agriculture. And you know what? We need to take it to women. Why? Not because of it they deserve any more, but because they're a better credit risk. Because when we lend to women around the world, the default risk is 3%. When we lend to men, like Satya and I, the default risk is 20%.
And I want to just really emphasise how important partnerships like this are for academic partners to ensure that not only our research is useful and impactful, but also that we, like Satya said, the young people that we have today here get the opportunity to engage with innovators like yourselves.
We're here today as part of COP26, the United Nations 16th Climate Change Conference of Youth. And what I think the Global Alliance for a Sustainable Planet is doing with food systems and regenerative ag is one of the biggest solutions to the climate crisis, because we could sequester potentially up to 1 trillion tons of CO2 from the atmosphere by just getting behind regenerative ag. If we just pick that.